Do we know if Peter is there? VK3BFG. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. I think it's plenty of audio there. Hello, test. Alright. Can somebody find out if Peter's there? VK3BFG.
VK3BFG, VK3VRS. No, it's sounding like not.
Okay, alright. Well, we know that he wasn't very well, so if you're in earshot there, Peter, I hope you're feeling okay. The last I heard you on here on 400, you were sounding pretty good, so it sounds like you're over the worst of it. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ATV Net. What number is it, Ian, tonight? I know it's 100 and something. 110. All right. 210. Okay. Wow. 210. Isn't that amazing grace? All right. Well, welcome to tonight's session here on the 19th of November. It's nearly the end of the year, and I haven't run or hosted the ATV Net for quite some time. I've been bringing the station downstairs. You can see it's still a mess behind me here, and there's still lots to do. So I'm hoping to take 4 weeks off over Christmas to get a lot of this sorted out, hopefully. But I bet you it doesn't happen. It never happens. Anyway, we have a few stations that are running tonight. It looks like Peter's not around, but if he does call in a short while, or if he's just running a little bit late for whatever reason, we'll squeeze him in when he does call in. If somebody just... I'll hear him on 400. He's a good signal here on 400. But anyway, apart from me starting off at the top of the list, from after me it goes to VK3VRS, and then to Peter, VK3TLF. This is all on RTV1. So from it would have been Peter first if he was there, but the first station after me is Richard, VK3VRS, Peter, VK3TLF, and then Peter's to pass it to RTV2. And we'll have Ian, VK3QL, who will also bring in Mick, VK3CH. G'day, Mick, and I hope you're well. And then Mick, you can put it across to Joe, VK3TET, and then Joe, you can put it back to me, and I'll finish off with a little interesting video as well. We've also got a few stations watching. Some via RF. Bob, VK3BVR, g'day Bob. Mark, VK3PI, also via RF. G'day Fred, VK3ZAQ. Steve, VK3NF on Discord. G'day Neil. Neil's watching on Ian's YouTube link. And we also have VK2DJV, David. G'day David, on viewing on YouTube as well. I've got the laptop right next to me here, and I don't see anybody else at the moment in the chat room on YouTube. So, but there's apparently 10 watching overall. There's apparently 10 watching on YouTube. That channel brings them in, Ian. It's more than my YouTube channel ever does. So good on you. All right. Anyway, I hope everybody's feeling well. 210 episodes. It's almost better than Home and Away. So, I think what we'll do without carrying on any longer, I don't know if there's anything else for me to say, to be honest. It's no fancy thrills here. So, we'll put it across to you there, Richard, and if you're already on your little PTT line, I shall drop off, and hopefully it'll be a reasonable, smooth transition. So, VK3VRS to take.
Whoops. Sorry, Clint. Hit the transmit a bit too quick. all good, nice smooth transition there. So just to add to that, there's also 3 viewers on Rob's BAT stream, and currently, where's my mouse? Lost my mouse. There's also 3 on my YouTube stream, and there's 1, 2, 3. Was 4 on Discord. So yeah, our viewership is quite good. So good. As everyone knows, on the weekend, on Sunday, Rosebud had their Radio Fest, they call it. So it was a very well organised, even with some speakers to have their say. Now, I did take some video. This is just straight off my phone, so no editing, haven't had time to do anything fancy. Runs for about 6 minutes, so I can make that happen, and we can have a watch. I know we've got a long segment towards the end, and then Clint will take it over, and he's got a video as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that at the end. But without further ado, this is Rosebud Hamfest, and this was probably not that long after the doors opened. Doors open at 10. This would have been at about 10:30, I think. So the first session had already happened, and it was quite full. But anyway, let's watch it and see what happens.
Very good. Filming for ATV.
Hours for boys, 4. Robert, take the correct speed. You don't catch the 4 of them, you need to cross there now. 3 and 4.
Here is Tom.
Hello. Is this live?
No.
Oh, hello, recording. Okay, 3 hours.
It's amazing who you run into.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, they're the most popular song, yeah.
Fire and rescue down there as well. Oop.
For live news on the planets, cosmology, sunspots and more, every Friday at 10 p.m. Clint VK3 CSJ presents the Astronomical Society of Victoria broadcast on this amateur television repeater, VK3 RTV Channel 1.
Rightio, we're back. So, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Now you will notice here, that's the link to Discord. So one of the benefits of being in Discord is you can chat, and also the delay is about half a second, so no big delays. Obviously never replace YouTube, because YouTube you can watch it at a later date, so that's always good. Also got Facebook group, not heavily used at the moment, but we've got it there as a resource, so if we want to use that to be able to relay information to each other, then that would be good. Perfect place for it. Other personalities that were at the Radio Fest was Peter Parker, VK3YE. I had a great chat with him.
VK3CSJ, VK3BFC.
And there's Peter. So I'm tipping I'll be handing over to Peter after me.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm available if you can slot me in somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, Richard's about to finish. You can go straight in after Richard.
There you go. All right. So there we go. Peter is here. So it's good news. Peter's here. Hopefully he can fill us in on everything and let us know how he's feeling and all about his trip to Tassie. So yeah, that's probably enough garbage from me. So without further ado, yep, I'll hand it over to Peter. So Peter, if you're ready, I'm going to go to colour bars, and then you can just do your magic and wipe me out. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you again shortly.
Okay, I say, we're on the wrong aspect ratio, but never mind. Not sure why that would happen, but anyway, not to worry. We've got up okay. Firing about, well, I guess 7 out of 10 at the moment. Tassie was great. Couldn't find anyone to fly down with me, so I flew down on my own, would you believe? And all okay. And joined up with John, 3 ATV, and Graham, one of John's friends. And we had a good time at the conference. There was hello, we got a little bit of a dropout there. Just a bit of a dropout. Yeah, we get that every now and then. There's all sorts of signals floating around the place, I can tell you. Looking on the spec end up at Mount View, I think there's people with VFOs wandering around and goodness knows what. But anyway, we have to put up with it. Anyway, the conference went well, and after the conference, John and I and Graham went to the telescope at just near the Cambridge Airport, actually, not that far from there. And they've got a fairly large radio telescope there. Not quite as big as Parkes, but still damn big. And we just happened to be lucky enough to be there when one of the professors was there, one of the guys that were involved in the telescope, and he offered to move it all around, and he brought it right down to ground. The bottom edge of the telescope almost hit the ground by the time it had come around. So it was pretty impressive. I mean, we were just standing just a few metres away. So I've never seen that before. I've been to Parkes a couple of times, but it's always been stationary. You never see it moving. So yeah, it was pretty good, and they have a very good display, and basically the University of Tasmania, and we were brought around by one of the people that were doing their PhD there in astronomy, and she was very good. And there's a museum, and it's really worth a visit if you can organise it if you go down to Hobart. So anyway, I'm feeling just a little bit ordinary on the second last day, where John and I and Graham stayed on till, well, we're going to stay on till Wednesday, but the weather was looking really bad on Wednesday for me, so I decided I'd fly back on the Tuesday. And yeah, on the Tuesday morning, which is where we went to the telescope, I was feeling a little bit ordinary. Not too bad though. Anyway, John fueled the plane for me, which was really good. And off we went. And by the time I got home, I was feeling really bad. So I telephoned my daughter and said, "Look, you better put a testing kit in the ham shack." And yeah, I tested positive. And of course, I've only got a very small house with one toilet, one shower, and a wife that's not really well. So the only option for me was to go to emergency in Knox Private. But they were not all that welcoming, actually. They said, "Oh, we don't take COVID patients anymore, blah, blah, blah." But anyway, by the time it got through to, I was pretty insistent. I needed to go in, and as soon as the doctor saw me, that was bang. I was in straight. So in there for 7 days, and yeah, it was pretty bad. Anyway, on a more positive note, I've been working on the Eastern Mountain Districts Radio Club Portsdown transmitter, and I've got it operating over here. We've still got a couple of little things to get over, but I'll give you a quick look and see what it's like. It's a conversion job where half of it's still the original, and the rest I had to rip out. And in fact, the good news there is that David, VK3 JDA, who's just had his house rebuilt down there in Moorabbin, has bought the SR Systems units from the Eastern Mount Dizzy's Radio Club, and he came here last night, and all his amplifier series is fine from his Digilite days, so that will interface with that very well. So hopefully we'll be seeing David back on the air for fairly shortly. He's an oldie but goodie, which is really good. Anyway, we'll have a quick look around the Portsdown, and then we'll hand it over to Peter, who I did see his call sign just flick up there, so he's obviously able to get in tonight. So again, it's going to be shaky cam, because I got out early from the Education Committee and had a very, very quick setup. So that's the front panel, and here was the SR Systems, front panel. So I've just put an aluminium sheet there with a transmit key line, and basically in here you can see that's the little Lime SDR Mini, which is damn expensive, and one of the guys in the club made the little box for me with his printer. So that just runs around, and you can see the Raspberry Pi sitting there, and we've got a keying circuit down here with a delay in it to overcome any of the problems with the mini spike. But I suspect the I/O line that comes out of the Raspberry Pi might be delayed now. But anyway, it's got a double delay on it, so that's okay. And then we run out, and it's going to be driven from OBS and via the network, but I've got it running via my network at the moment. Still got a couple of little things to sort out on it. But over here, you can see the standard Mitsubishi module there, and that runs into what's nominally a 60 watt amplifier, but it's a single FET, and it's not all that great. You only get you might be able to squeeze 15 watts out of it, absolute tops. Probably about 10 is really realistic out of the 60. So, but that's it, and that's all operational. So I've just got a couple of little problems I've got to solve. So I'll be talking to Dennis and or Bob, BBR, about how to solve that. Unfortunately, my system, the Pi screen's gone like that, which I'm not quite sure whether it's the screen or the connectors or whatever. There's not a lot you can do to troubleshoot really, but anyway, that's a bit sad. So anyway, Peter, VK3TLF, if you're ready, start transmitting now, Pete, and I'll give you just a minute or two, or half a minute.
but it's not picking up vMix. Good point. Yeah. Try again. Always dramas. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the handover, Pete. Had a few dramas, but that's ATV. So tonight I want to I thought I'd just show you a bit of what I've been playing with. I noticed on some of the other ATV transmissions that people have been had some really nice quad sequences for screen displays, like matrix type things. So I did a bit of research, and I just turn off my overlay, and I found one that I thought was pretty good. This one has 4 inputs and 2 outputs. So what you're looking at here is 2 screens that I've got plugged into it. You see the 4 images at the front. You've got RTV2 down the bottom left, and I'm looking at myself, so there's nice echo on the middle one. So I go over to, and I'll show you what the actual box looks like itself. Yep, that's better. Sorry, audio just dropped out on me. Yeah, moving on. That's the other inputs. This is what the top of the box looks like. So you can see the brand on there. I got this one off Amazon. So I think it cost about $170, which I thought was a bit rich, but it's a 4K 4-way input-output device. So I'll give it a try and see how it goes. That's a close-up of the input of the front panel. Now the more interesting thing is the remote control. So on the top row, that's for the output A. So if you press any one of the 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons on the output A, then it'll just do the entire screen for that particular input. If you want to then go to multiple screens, then you hit the mode button, and then it'll change between 2 screens or 4 screens and 3 screens. So it's quite versatile in the way it does things. And I'll do a little bit of a demo, and hopefully it works at the end. This is the front page of the manual, so you can have a look that up yourself and see if you can find it on Amazon if you're interested in purchasing one of these. I'm not selling it or endorsing it. It's just something I've found that's been really handy for having model inputs and being able to monitor what's going on with lots of different sources and outputs and so forth. The main camera, and my laptop has gone to sleep on me. Spare me a second. Nothing like a live demo. So if I hit, for instance, input 2 on the it's going to work for me on the rear screen. So there you go. So you can see there that I can select on the other screen. That's just selected obviously input 2 at the moment. So and then if I hit mode on the main screen, come on remote. So there's the 4 screens. So you can do different. It's not a good angle for this remote control. There's 2. I did actually get this also for a customer application where I needed to have 2 inputs that are stacked vertically, and not a lot of devices will do that. So this one does. So, and there's 2 stacked sideways, and you can also do that. So one big one at the top, and then 3 at the bottom, and back to 4. So it does quite a few different modes. So, all right, well that's pretty much it for me today. I just thought I'd share that to the group and anyone who's interested. And I will hand it over to VK3QL, Ian. If everyone would like to switch to RTV2 now, and I'll be, if you'd like to come up, Ian, on RTV2. I'll just hold it until I see you come up and ready to go.
Good evening and welcome to television.
Great, thanks Pete. And actually I've got a similar box. I think it's a couple of years earlier version, but that one looks a lot more versatile, and I had some compatibility issues, so I think they're improving, but as time goes by. There's a lot of problems with HDMI copy protection facilities and incompatibilities and EIDs and things. So no, great, thanks for sharing that with us. And also the changeover, that was my fault here. I was hitting the keys on the wrong keyboard and not getting signals to go to the right place. All right, so yes, and great to see Peter on the road to recovery. So great, glad you could come up on the net and give us an update on what's happening in your shack and also the TAS conference. And Clint, great, you're doing a great job. So yeah, no, well done. And I think if memory serves me correct, Neil is back next week. So he's watching on YouTube, as is 13 others at this point in time. And yeah, so no more have come up on the chat to this point. All right. Now, the first cab off the rank is the Spring Field Day. So it starts Melbourne on the next Saturday, 12 noon, and so there it all. There's some prior year activities. That's the sort of frequencies people are using. Now, it's a good chance to try your skills, but if you don't want to go out on the field, as it were, there's sections available for scoring in the home section. Field days have a high level of SSB activity, so you've got plenty of opportunities to make SSB and FM contacts. Don't forget the Spring Field Day on the 25th of November, starting at 12 noon. Check out the WIA contest webpage. Right, the Ballarat radio group is having their Hamfest on the 2nd of February. That's the next Hamfest that I'm aware of, in VK3. It's a Sunday the 2nd of February, doors open at 10 a.m. For some reason I had 9:30, well, I had the wrong time for Rosebud, so I double checked this one, and currently it's listed as 10 o'clock. $7 per person. Now, there's an interesting development that is being led by Nick VK3BA with regard to this hamvention. He's organising 3 tables, very well situated on the site, and he's targeted 3 major activities. An active microwave demonstration showcasing cutting-edge microwave technology with the aim of inspiring operators to explore this fascinating aspect of amateur radio. There'll also be an active ATV display featuring both analogue and digital ATV gear in operation. So promoting that aspect, and also thirdly promoting Amateur Radio Victoria. Of course, Amateur Radio Victoria is a great sponsor for ATV in Melbourne, providing very real assets and support for us to operate the repeater and to support the good work of Peter VK3BFG. So he's looking for people to be involved in the promotion of those 3 aspects of amateur radio in Victoria, and he's looking for people to be involved and contributing gear and staffing the tables. So if you want to contact Nick, contact any of the main ATVers, I think, or or microwavers, and they will get the message through to Nick of your ability to support and help this activity at the Ballarat Hamvention. Right. I'm not sure what vision went to air then, but anyway, it's all good fun. All right. I did have slides for that, so I don't think they went. I don't think people saw that, but anyway, that's the title of the and details of the Ballarat Hamvention. So anyway, I won't dwell on that. Let's go back to good place to be. All right, we've got a lot on this net, and time's rolling on. The next section says here, looking, there's been a little bit of development on the ISS. I'll just roll through that at this point in time.
Have you tried the repeater in the sky recently? Let's have a look at the International Space Station passes for Melbourne over the next week.
5-9. EQSL 57 and thanks for the contact. 73. Right, thank you. VK6 Mike Juliet, VK3 EJ. Victor. Kilo 5 India Romeo Mobile, CQ. VK5 RR Mobile, VK3 ZAZ 5 and 9.
Yes, the packet system is back in operation, and the work is continuing on the Ham TV front. That's a transmitter on the ISS, one way. It's not a repeater, but that's been pushed back to probably the beginning of 2005 to be realistic, I suspect, at this point in time. So what we have here is the next 5, 6, 7 days during the field day of the Hepburn charts. So it looks very interesting. A lot of interesting formations, a lot of ducting opportunities, including South Australia and New Zealand. So keep an eye on the charts. Remember, at this point in time, we're a bit far out for accurate charting. So that's a good indication of what would be the conditions for next weekend during the field day. Right, so as is the usual case, I shall go to a quiz and then I'll hand it over to Mick. So Mick, if you'd like to come up on the line, and I'll switch it to you when I come back out of the quiz. Right, let's go to the quiz. next cab off the rank is Mick, VK3CH, and I'll do a end of transmission K and pass it over to you, Mick. Stand by.
Okay, good evening everyone, and my little graph bar says that I'm sending audio. Alright, minutes before Ian was going to cut over to me, this other monitor, I'll just press this one, where is it, the overview? Here's the overview of the shack. G'day. This webcam there just decided to freeze, so I'm using this one. Well, I can go to this one, but then when I look at this one and I try to look at the television, it looks like that. So I'll go back to the overview, and I've actually got a piece of paper to remind me what to talk about. Okay, firstly, Rosebud. Yep, we didn't go to Rosebud this year, and I don't know when we're going to another Hamfest. I don't really have a lot of stuff to get rid of. But anyway, what's the next job we want to do? We want to visit Peter one of these days. These capacitors have turned up from overseas, so but I'll wait till he's definitely back, and when he's got some space on his shack. So we might be waiting longer for that than anything else. Okay, what have we been doing? We've told you about this little radio with the antenna, and we've got the All-Star 3 going. What I did, because I had to go down and deal with someone else getting a tree chopped down, and I had to make sure they didn't park in spaces that they shouldn't. I've bought these two aerials. Oh, I've had this one for a while. That one's from Strictly Ham. This one's from Amazon. The one that I got from Strictly Ham, 70 centimetres long, has on 2 metres 2.5 dB gain and 4.5 dB gain. And the extendable one from Amazon, they quote 3 dB gain on 2 and 5.5 dB, so not much in it. And of course, as you know, if I hold this in the right spot, you know, you can collapse it down to something like that, so just handy. It's a little bit taller than the actual radio, just so that, you know, you can put it in the car, go wherever, pull it out, have your contact, and then be done with it. So when I was up 1.3 k's away, I was able to trigger the node, but yeah, you did have to be in a sweet spot. But it seemed to be a little bit better than the car radio, which has a quarter wave.
VK3 Quebec Lima, Joe, we're on the...
So the aerial's probably about that long on the car, not very long, and I think it's for 2 metres. I don't even think it's for 70 centimetres, so it might actually be a very bad match on 70. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Anyway, with the All-Star node, we've never given a demonstration, so I could do a demonstration. I'm currently connected to Ian, and if I go to this screen, you'll actually see that's the All-Star node dashboard. So if I talk, you'll see it change colour. VK3QL as a test, VK3CH just for the sake of demonstrating it on the net.
Too loud and clear, Mick. Great. I'll be hearing you double, so I'll just remove my earpiece. So it's all good. Yeah, all good. Yeah, works seamlessly. VK3 Quebec Lima, clear.
No worries, just going back just so that they can see the bit changing on the screen there. Alright, thanks for the test. So yeah, that's just a demonstration of how it's going. I can log into it and you see a whole heap of other stuff, but it'll also display some web addresses, so I'm not sure if I meant to show the outside world to that, but so I'll leave it at this. The only thing I will make is, it used to be on the little pipe that holds up the desk, but I've put it underneath the table because that's how it can reach the coax cable where it's going up to one of the aerials on the roof. And you'll notice where the CPU, the temperature, that's the actual, what do you call it, Raspberry Pi's temperature. So when it was on the pipe, it was a happy 50 degrees Celsius. Now it's gone up 3 degrees, but it stays at 3 degrees whether you transmit or not. So yes, I don't see that as being a big drama. So there you go, that's the All-Star 3 node. Very simple. And yeah, FM, you don't have to have any special DMR radio. You can use any of your radios that are on FM. And yeah, Rob, VK3IE, suggested the little board that you saw the other week from a guy up in Queensland. So if you watch the net before this one, I think it is, or just email me or email Rod. He's got all the info on where to grab one if you wanted to grab one of those. I think there's all sorts of ways you can get on, but yeah, it's a handy board. VK3IE. There you are, that's VK3IE. And what I can do, if I go back to the overview, I'll just make sure that, hang on. Where am I? No, this one. I'll just wait to see that it's actually on the repeater. You can do... Where is it? Little bubble chart. And it will show you who's connected to who. So at the moment you can see VK3QL connected to me and VK3IE, and then to VK3IE, VK3TET is connected, and VK3TRX is connected. So you can sort of, in real time, ad hoc, add links and break links and link it to everything else. So yeah, very handy. I'm not sure if that's going to change colour if I just transmit at the moment. No, I'm not sure. Anyway, you get the idea. So there's the bubble chart that you can call up. So a few other tricks you can do with that. All right then. What else was I going to tell you? Done the antenna test. Some people, I think Rob IE was saying, when I transmit in the car using the 7100, there's a tick 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 noise, and that's very common if you don't use the ICOM cable, or if you use cable it's too long. I think the screen has a digital refresh and the microphone picks it up. It's about 2 or 3 times a minute. It's like a little click. I had a look in the car. This Cat 7 cable that I'm using, I did buy a length of Cat 8 cable, and I believe each of the twisted pairs have individual shielding as well as shielding over the lot. And I think that it's a bit better that way in regards to Cat 7. So I'm hoping there'll be a shield over whatever pair's being used for the microphone, so that ticking noise gets shielded out. So I do have to pull out the cable on the car and do another run, so that will involve cutting a lot of cable ties and finding the cable, pulling the cable through, and yeah, connecting it over. But what I can do as a cheat test is just plug the cable in without running it and to the radio thing at the back and proving that it works. I did a very low-tech test by having this microphone and running Audacity on the computer here, and just going out to the carport and transmitting back into the shack with this radio going, and just having the microphone pick it up, and then coming back inside. And yes, I certainly did hear the ticking sound, so it is there. So yeah, it's a job I could probably do tomorrow, depending on how much energy we have. And speaking of energy, that was the last thing to say. On the XYL side of the family, her nieces and nephews got married a few years ago, and now children are being born. Funny about that. And one of the newborns is going to get born, I don't know, about couple of weeks before Christmas or a week before Christmas. So of course new parents being paranoid saying, oh, if you're going to visit, you have to have this whooping cough vaccine. So we copped that today, both of us. So we've been jabbed. So it was been held hostage. No vaccine, no Christmas for you. So yeah, very hard selling point. And what I'm getting to the point is from walking to the car to that sort of medical joint in Shoppingtown, I guesstimate it was about 130 metres. Well, after doing that walk, I was wrecked. So yeah, I don't know how many more times I'm going to be doing these mad days. I'm not sure what we're capable of, unless I'm just having...
Good evening. The time is 9 p.m.
Yeah, it does it every half hour. Oh, that's a handy reminder. So, yeah, there's a few other people that want to get on, so I've probably talked enough. So, yeah, we just get tired easy these days, so I'm not quite sure whether that's temporary or permanent. Anyway, that's enough from me, Ian. You can take it back, and we'll keep the ball rolling. So, there you go. Catch us later.
Audio. Do we have audio? Check 1, 2. Wow. What an evening. I've got so many notes to go through here. Firstly, the video of the Hamfest is excellent. I'm watching something on my vMix here that's a bit odd. I know what's going on. I'm patching Ian's YouTube through, so I'm seeing myself in delay here. So I'll get rid of that and go to what I'm going to go to. That's better. I'd like to grab a hold of that video, Richard, for the benefit of the coffee break lads on 160 metres, because I know they were all down there, or not all of them, but some of them were. I saw Drew, the K3XU. He was there. He had you actually came in on. He had a table full of Morse code keys, and I saw that. And actually, I would have liked to have gone down there, I think. But anyway, I saw the Morse keys. It was only brief, but I reckon if I can grab a hold of that video, like if you put it up on YouTube. It's already on YouTube. Okay, cool. All right. I shall provide a link for the guys. What else? Anyway, that All-Star looks interesting. I'm glad to see that working, Mick, in real time, the way that you demonstrated it. So I might investigate that at some point myself. And I think that's all, really. My battery in the laptop here failed, so we've got I saw 14 people on Ian's YouTube, so good evening to all you 14 people. And I suspect that that Neil will, as you say, Ian, Neil will be back next week, maybe. So we'll anyway. So yep. G'day, Pete. And sorry to hear that you caught that horrible thing. I only had COVID once in all these years. Didn't really affect me too badly, but yeah, I would have liked to have to see the Grope River Museum. It's a bit of a thrill when the rim of the dish comes down to the ground, which is a bit of a segue into my next article, actually. It's like with the Parkes radio telescope. Its rim can literally come down to just above the ground, enough for you to be able to walk up onto the dish and take what they call a hayride once the dish goes back up into the stowed position. I wish I could lay claim to being able to do that, but no. Anyway, so look, I'll just quickly run this video, because as soon as I'm finished, Joe can have another go at running his short piece. Oh, and Peter, VK3TLF Peter, that quad device looks interesting. I usually have two monitors here watching RTV1 and 2 at the same time, but then, well, the monitors are working, but I haven't got them configured, partly because the set-top box is blown up. I'm only using the one set-top box at the moment to go between two channels, but that little quaddy device might be an interesting contrivance for the one monitor that I've got up here. So I'll might invest in one of those little devices. Because I noticed that Neil has the same thing. When Neil comes up, there's a screen on his wall that has the quadrature thing on it. So I don't know what he uses to get those 4 pictures, but most entertaining. All right, look, just briefly, and what I'll do is I'll run this video and talk over it. Some time ago, we we're organising a dish antenna for radio astronomy up at the Heathcote site, the Dark Sky site. This is a drone footage of our radio astronomy installation at Heathcote. This is the Dark Sky site, what we refer to as Leon Mao Dark Sky site. It's just north of Heathcote. And in fact, there's a star party, Christmas star party that's about to occur here at the 29th of November, I think. And there'll be up to 300 people visiting this site right through the whole night. So it'll be a real hoot to be there. But you can see that dish, that's a Kennedy dish. That's a 30-foot dish that you see there. And there's a bit of a process to how we worked out getting this particular dish, because we were very, very keen to organise a dish antenna that we could use for radio astronomy. And in the process of being able to get a hold of this dish, we had news of an Earth station dish being made available. Where's this other footage I've got? Here we go. This is timer-lapse footage of the dish working at night time. And you can see how we've got this engineered to be quite flexible to track celestial objects across the sky. It's quite a lot of money went into that. But before we got this Kennedy dish, we were looking at getting a solid surface dish from GTV9, Channel 9, at Bendigo Street. This is when we're closing down and finishing, and we got word that a 14-metre solid Earth station dish was going to be made available, and to try and get it. So we got access to the site. We took a lot of photographs, and at the end of the day, the ASV Council decided that the occupational health and safety aspect to removing such a structure doesn't quite work. So it looks something similar to this. This antenna, and this is actually a Channel 7 9-metre dish, and I've just got hold of this video just today, in fact, and it's this is the sort of antenna that we were hoping to get a hold of for our radio astronomy interests at Heathcote. But this sort of antenna is designed to be fixed on one satellite, looking at one satellite, and so we would have had to have worked out a way of being able to organise motor control and gearing so that it would be able to track any object in the sky, whereas this is just like the whole design here is fixed and mounted. Unfortunately, like this antenna here, nobody claimed it. Not that it was up for sale or anything, but as you see in just a few minutes' time, this beautiful dish antenna, not that one, this 9-metre dish antenna was unfortunately about to be ripped apart by a crane device, as you can see here, and absolutely pulled apart and ruined. So this sort of antenna, this is you're looking at, was late 1980s, and I'm just having a quick look at the email that I got here, and let me see. Where's just here? 13 meters. Yes. So yeah. So this is a 13 meter. This dish was a 13 meter dish. It's at the old Channel 7 location in the area, not too far from the Westgate Bridge. It was installed in 1986 and has been used extensively for Channel 7's communications through the satellite. So, you know, it's very, very sad to see something like this happen to a beautiful dish that any radio amateur that you know, would have loved to have been able to get hold of doing moon bounce and or even doing radio astronomy. So isn't it sacrilegious to see this gorgeous dish being ripped apart? You're looking at about $2 million back in 1986. $2 million being cut up and turned into rubble. Apparently they're about a 9-metre dish these days is worth around 600,000. So this is, to me, this is a bit like watching the Arecibo radio telescope collapsing. It's just sacrilegious. That beautiful dish antenna being ripped apart like that. So, it's so horrible. But anyway, we were pretty close to getting a similar antenna that at GTV9 at Bendigo Street. They had a similar antenna that was actually sitting in the ground. They dug out the hole in the ground, so the whole tower structure was actually below ground level, and the only thing that was above ground was the dish. And because the dish didn't need to move, it was fixed on a satellite. It was just this dish sitting at ground level, but there was this huge hole where all this mounting structure here that you can see was all below ground level, and that was partly to please the neighbours, because the neighbours, they were thinking the neighbours don't need to see this huge dish above trees. So anyway, we ended up getting this Kennedy dish anyway. So look at it, crash. So sad. So sad indeed. So I thought I'd just quickly show you that little bit of footage that's come through today. And this is just something that's happened in the last week or so. Really bad thing, isn't it? Anybody who loves antennas and dish antennas and understands the value of something like this is, you got to be cringing. You've got to be cringing, haven't you? So anyway, so we got our dish antenna. It's a Kennedy dish, the same as what Doug MacArthur VK3UM has up at Redburn, and it's the same sort of antenna. So the tangled mess is just sad to see. Really disgusting, just disgusting. Alright, this is about to finish, so there it is being shuffled away. Terrible. So this is our dish antenna. As you can see, this is what we ended up using. There's our mounting structure, and it cost the ASV a pretty penny to get this organised, but anyway, that's it. Alright, where's my camera? Back to me. Get rid of that. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tonight's session. It's 9:15. You can expect that for me to be this long. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Bob, VK3BVR, Mark, VK3PI, Fred, VK3ZAQ, Steve, VK3NF, Neil, VK3BCU, and David, VK2DJV, Rob, VK3IE, you were there but you didn't announce yourself, and Peter, 3BFG, Richard VRS, Peter, VK3TLF, and Ian and Mick, and Joe is to follow with his 14-minute special if it works for him. So there was 14 people on Ian's YouTube thing. I've mentioned that already, and there's probably about 5 people on Discord, 4 or 5 people on Richard's Discord. So on that note, at 9:20, have a pleasant evening, everyone. Take care. Thank you for joining in to tonight's ATV session. It's been nice to be the host again for it. I'm looking at the wrong camera, and we'll finish right now. And where's my test pattern? It's just down here somewhere. There it is. So yep, we'll say cheers. The Friday night is the ASV radio broadcast that I do on Friday night at 10 o'clock from 10 o'clock onwards, and then the WI broadcast on Sunday morning. 160 metres. I need signal reports on 160 metres, guys. I know you're all keen on VHF and up, but if you've got something like an 80-metre dipole, plug it into 1825 kilohertz and see if you can hear my AM signal coming from my transmitter behind me. This guy, this Telefunken. It was interesting. Somebody who had a report on Telefunken. Oh no, it's something I saw before, but anyway, which doesn't matter. but that's my WIA transmitter there. So I need signal reports from you guys. So listen out for me at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, 1825, and then followed by the 2V repeater at 10:30, and then again at 8 o'clock. Plenty of plugging myself here. There's something else. Oh, this Ballarat Hamfest. That's going to be an interesting one because I've picked up a receiver for somebody, and we're planning to possibly meet up at the Ballarat Hamfest because he's coming down from Sydney. So that particular Sunday morning, I might have to forego a few things. I don't know yet. We'll just see how that works out. Righto, Joe, if you're ready, if things are going to work, we'll put it across to Joe. So thanks, everybody. It's been a great session tonight, and that's enough waffling from me. So VK3 CSJ, Narre Warren South, concluding the ATV net for tonight. We'll see you all next Tuesday again.
I must admit you're a refreshing change of pace.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have your approval, Patrick. Now, shall we get to work, or are you planning to recite another ode to my voice?
We'll begin shortly, my dear Kate. But do know that your voice may be the highlight of my week.
Welcome, everyone, to today's presentation on infrared lenses and their pivotal role in thermal cameras.
That's right, Kate. I'm Patrick, and we're here to unravel the fascinating science behind thermal imaging, an innovation that has transformed industries from healthcare to security.
Infrared lenses are a core component of thermal cameras. They don't see light the way human eyes do. Instead, they detect heat or infrared radiation emitted by objects.
Precisely, Kate. Infrared radiation is a part of the electromagnetic spectrum. It lies just beyond visible light.